Bongo Mike.
What's happening, man?
But did you have a good time over at Rosemont?
That was a what an unbelievable experience. You can ask me the question when we
I
actually
will. I
start.
will. Yeah.
But yeah, it was
Awesome.
really great. What a stage, you know. So yeah, it was good. I mean, that was now I've got four more shows this month. Two with DERRICK PROCELL, which is a blues guy, and then
Mike, what shows are coming up for the mosquitos?
the mosquitos. I've got, well, 420 is going to be the next one, which is April 20th at Sundance Saloon with Dead Fest. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
I hear
But
you.
yeah, the rest of the shows this month, two were Black Diamond sessions and two for with DERRICK PROCELL. So
And refresh me on Derek.
DERRICK PROCELL is a blues guy who has an all-star mojo band, which is what I play with them. So he's got a saxophone player, a trumpet player, a keyboard player, guitar player, bassist, drummer, percussion, two backing vocalists.
Okay,
And he plays harmonica and keyboard. So it's a big band.
got it. And
10 piece.
where, what, if I'm going to point somebody to check that show out, where am I sending them?
To the Rouse Center in Crystal Lake
Okay.
on uh, the 21st of March, I believe. Let me double check that. Yeah, 21st of March. And then on the 22nd, we're in Evanston at some place in Evanston with him. So two days. His shows are always really interesting because it's all original music. It's really, maybe one or two cover songs. Most of the stuff that he does is original. And he had his blues album. It got on the blues charts and got some recognition last year. And yeah, he's put together a band and he goes out and he also does um, Van Morrison, right? So he does like the commitments, and so he's
Okay.
the Van Morrison guy, and he's also a Joe Cocker guy. So when he does the cover stuff, it's Joe Cocker or it's Van Morrison, and then when he does his own stuff, it's the DERRICK PROCELL show.
Got it.
Pretty interesting though. Just
Okay.
the stuff I have to actually really like work on, study because it's all original. I don't, it's not like I can go, oh yeah, I know whatever. I know this Doobie Brothers song. I just gotta, fall into the groove. With
Right,
his stuff,
right,
I
right.
actually gotta work it and practice it and listen
Well,
to it. So
well, then they ad lib, right?
yeah, a little bit. It's not a jam band,
Okay.
he does extend a couple songs, but for the most part, if it's 3.5 minutes on the album, it's 3.5 minutes, in
Got it.
when we do
Got
it
it.
live. But he's got a great band. I mean, really good players. So it's always fun to sit in with those guys and he actually wrote a bunch of new material and I don't have any of it. So he's supposed to get me a set list so I know what I'm doing.
Well, send me some links or pictures or something you want me to put up for that, and I'll do
I
it.
will. I'll get you the pictures sent of he's got a list of stuff. He's got a whole slate of shows for the month of March and for April. So I'll send you that picture and then you can note it on there that, Rouse Center and then the Evanston one's on there too. I could probably tell you what it is without trying to ad lib too much. I was going to tell you there was something I forgot to ask Michael Yerke last
Yeah, just ask them.
week. We got to get him back on. After we got done, I'm like, gosh, I had a really good question. I want to know how the ticket brokers and the scalpers have the tickets before the pre-sale even happens. How is that? How
Is
do
it,
how do I go on a pre-sale on Friday morning at 10 a.m. But if I go on Thursday night and look at those ticket broker sites, they already know what seats they have and already have a sell price.
I already tell you what Mike's going to say.
Huh,
I just handle the tours. I don't know nothing
nice.
about tickets. I just handle the tours.
It's frustrating though. It's like I used to go to a lot more concerts when, when tickets were reasonable. Now you got to go to a scalper and it's 3 times more money than it is buying at face value. And I can't even get a seat. Here we go. Friday the 22nd. DERRICK PROCELL and the All-Star Mojo Band Jamming Gene Concert Levy Music Series, Evanston, Illinois. It's a lot to
Got
say.
it. And Heart of Glass, March 15th at HUMO. Is that how you say it? The old
What? Why did they call it? What does that stand for?
it's a smokehouse. I don't know, but it looks
Humidor?
I guess so. But I think I don't know. March 28th, HUMO in Lombard, March 28th, Reggie's, Southside Chicago.
Reggie's. Wow, that's always a fun place.
So that's what we got. And then we're going to be playing with our keyboard player, Sophie Hayter.
So we have Sophie sitting in with us on March 23rd at the Vixen. We're opening for a Supertramp cover band. So Black Diamond Sessions with special guest Sophie Hayter.
Sophie is busy in Arizona still, right?
I believe she's there for the Innings Festival.
Ryan Dempster's band. I wonder how those guys are.
They're pretty good. I mean, they play that festival in two locations, right? In Tampa and in Arizona.
Yeah.
So, I think you guys got some big shows coming up. So you got to let me know. Is HUMO? That's what, the 15th?
Yeah, March 15th. That was put on. We got a Billy Idol, and we're playing with Space Face again.
Oh, cool.
I believe that's what it is. So good guys. I'll try to get them on the show beforehand. Plus, your guys, let's try to get them on so they can educate me with what's going on. And then, of course, we got the Ricans.
Nice guitar.
Thank you. It's an Ibanez.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Hollow body.
Yes.
Before Mr. Ed Worm shows up, why don't you play a little welcoming tune for us, boys? Because we missed you last week.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we missed you too as well.
All right.
I know you had tornadoes and all that stuff.
Well, they had to test the sirens somehow.
That's right.
So, all right. Hello, testing. 1, 2. Testing. 1, 2. How do you do? Testing. 1, 2. It's wonderful to be here. Testing. 1, 2. Testing. 1, 2.
Oh, I've been missing that. Been missing that, Bongo Mike. Been missing that.
I like it. I like it. It was a very serious show last week. We were talking serious stuff with those guys.
Yeah, there was no messing around with those
No
intense.
Schwing.
No Schwing. But we could use a Schwing right now.
Yeah. Schwing.
Oh, that's a Schwing and a half.
Right.
So, boys, how did your show go? Can you send me some video? We'll put
It was pretty good.
It went pretty good, although we did have some difficulties with the video, so...
technology, it's...
Yeah, techno joy.
I have gone in with different cameras and whatnot, and nothing ever is better than just a plain old iPhone.
Yeah. I'm thinking of actually getting one, because I'm due to upgrade in a couple months. So I'm thinking of getting one just for concert performance recording.
Mike, what kind of phone do you got?
I got an iPhone. But I got to tell you, what I did have, my wife bought it for me, is a flip. Remember the flip?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that was great. It was, all HD. It was, you would record videos or whatever. But then they stopped supporting the software.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a paperweight now. I can't even charge it up and do anything with it.
Yeah.
Very sad.
Well, I can tell you that upgrade that phone and you don't have to buy another camera. You don't need anything. You put that thing up, it lasts and it's great quality. I vouch. I don't know about
And you could go live with it too.
Yep.
Like if you're on, right from Facebook. A lot of times that's what I do to save space on my phone. I'll just, record live. And for the most part, it's usually pretty decent audio and pretty decent video.
Yeah, it depends on where you are.
Well, and the Wi-Fi.
Depends on the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, boys, what kind of shows you got coming up? Because once we start getting into the conversation, it's I want to make sure we don't forget about you.
Well, we still got the Copper Fiddle next month, the 12th.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Five weeks away.
Yeah.
5 weeks. Okay. You guys practicing for it?
Trying to.
Yeah. Well, we know our stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have to practice much, so.
How many songs?
It does help.
God, it's
about like 30.
No, more than that. At least 50.
50?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, on our set?
Yeah, usually.
Oh, okay.
Something like
Dude,
that.
50 songs in one night?
Not well. It depends on the night. With 3 sets,
probably about 12 or 11.
Yeah, it's like 11 or 12%. So yeah, maybe it's
30,
it's around
30
35.
something.
Yeah, I don't know. They
All
just
right,
seem like a lot to me.
That's going to join us here in a little bit. Well, I mean, knowing 50 songs to put you up front, that's a pretty good deal. You're, four-legged jukebox. That's awesome.
Right?
Two-legged jukebox. Ed Warm. That's what I'm talking about. What's up, buddy?
How are you, my friend?
The pride of Indiana University. Yes.
What's up? How are you?
Oh, man, I'm just getting by podcasting, talking about the old days. Trying to stay young, talking about the old days.
Right? Much too young to be this damn old, right?
Ed, we have Bongo Mike Orfanos. He's in the Mosquitos. He just played in Rosemont.
You just played for us last Friday.
I did.
We really enjoyed having you guys.
Oh, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. It was top shelf stage sound. The room was great. It was really enjoyable.
It's a great room. Thank you for doing that. I know it wasn't the best fit with a Pink Floyd band. We'll do it again with we'll do it again with you guys.
Do it again with a Blondie band, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, you guys are pretty local, right?
Yeah, I thought the Pink Floyd was actually a pretty good mix. Those guys, they were very accommodating, and we were able to use their drummer's drum set. So our drummer Jeff Fight, we didn't have to swap out the drums or anything. And
that's nice.
Yeah, it really made
funny. That's funny you said that, because the next night we had two cover bands they were like ready to duke it out. It was so ridiculous.
Oh wow.
It's so stupid. It's like, come on, guys.
Was it cover or tribute, Ed?
Dude, they were covers.
Okay.
All right.
They
weren't tributes. Yeah.
And then, Ed, we have our Paul Schaefer group here, the two Costa Ricans who may or may not. There we go. Give me a little bit. So this is the Wayne's World, Chicagoland.
Awesome. I love it. I love it.
Nice to meet you, Ed.
Now, Ed, let's clue everybody in, plus refresh my memory. We go back a few decades.
Oh, my gosh. A long, long way. Probably 91, 92.
That was a good time. Good time.
They were good times. I wish I remembered more. No, you were the general manager of the Cubby Bear.
You were the big man over at High Tops.
I was one of the guys over at High Tops, and it was a great. There's 50 bars in Wrigleyville now. There were 6.
Yeah.
Back then, and everybody was friends. And there was great camaraderie. It was a really good. Time back then,
We were all tight. Anybody needed something, you just, ask your buddy, run some cups, whatever,
Right.
Of course, that's in the early 90s. Plus the Chicago music scene back then. That was the place.
Oh my gosh, right?
You know who we had on last show, Ed? We had Michael Yerke and Duff Rice.
Oh, did you really? Oh my God, I can't wait to see that.
Oh yeah,
That's where I met Yerke, and of course Duff and I, we still work together to this day. Yeah. So we're the best of friends. So I love the guy.
Well, let's start with High Tops. What was that an Indiana thing? Because you're in Indiana.
We gotta kind of start at Gamekeepers because that's where I started doing music. That's where I got out of school at IU, and I, like everybody else in 1988, 89, wanted to work down at the commodity exchanges, and I couldn't even, I was making $150 a week, and I couldn't pay for the
hand signals.
Yes. Couldn't pay for the train ticket going downtown. I got a job in a bar. I knew guys who were Gamekeepers, and all of a sudden I had friends who were musicians and started a band, and we started booking them, and they became the Freddie Jones Band, who, one of the great bands that came out of Chicago at the time.
Was it Wayne?
Well, it was Wayne. I was really tight with the Bonacorsis, but I became friends with all the guys, and they took off. And I actually helped book shows with them, around town at the Park West and the Vic. And that's when music really got into my blood. And then High Tops opened up in '91, and we were doing music there, not on the scale that that Yerke and
Duff and Brad and all those guys.
Duff, most importantly, Brian Oconnel. Most importantly, in my world, Brian, we're doing.
When did you get out of High Tops and get into? Was it Joe's Live? Because I remember in
Joe's on Weed Street.
Joe's on Weed, because I was with a website called Headhunter.net, and I think we
oh my God,
we did Rick Springfield. We put some money down for
96. I got out of High Tops. I'd gotten ill, and I left, and there were some changes there, and I was just leaving. I was like, what am I going to do? I don't even know what I'm going to do anymore. And these guys, the guys from Budweiser, recommended, hey, there are these guys from Columbus, Ohio. They're building this place. It's in kind of a funky area of town, but they need some help. They need a Chicago guy. And they opened up what was called Banana Joe's. And 3-4 months right after they opened it, it wasn't working. They weren't listening. And myself and guy who's my business partner to this day there, we bought the place. That was January of '97. We turned it into, slowly changed it. We were young and stupid. Now I'm just old and stupid. We had to keep the name Banana in there for a long time.
Yeah.
So we just kept making it smaller and smaller, and that's why it just became Joe's. And then, so you said Rick Springfield. Rick was probably the first big act we came, and he was making a comeback, and they actually filmed his behind the music part. There was a scene from his behind the music was at Joe's. We brought him back. We didn't really pay him much that first time. We're in that, and then we sold it out. We were really, really happy. And
you made me pay a lot.
We did him the next. No, that was like that second or third time.
Okay, all right. All right.
You guys had him, but we were doing all the classic rock guys. The Outfield. They were the first guys to trash the dressing room there, and did a bunch of Eddie Money shows and guys like that. It was a lot of fun.
Now let's see, 91. I think Cubby Bear was venue of the year 91, 92 or something like that. Of which Brad Altman took all the credit for.
Unbelievable. Was that the bathtub picture
with the cigar?
Was that the bathtub picture? Yeah.
Yeah. With the cigar in the hot tub. Country and jazz wasn't a thing, so we started bringing in country and jazz. NUA and Big John Howell, who's now a political guy, I think.
Isn't that funny, right?
Big John Howell and the Born to Boogie Band. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're actually a great band.
But Ed took the baton, and you are now, you go to Nashville, they carry you around in a chair. Don't they? You are the country man now.
They pay a lot of money for bands now. Well, again, getting back to going back to another Cubby Bear guy, Brian O'Connell. He did all the music at Whiskey River for a long time, and he kept the country baton going.
Is that Dana, Gary, and
yes, the Krones.
The Krones, yeah, from Kronies.
Yes, and that's when it. And then Brian went national.
Is that what happened to him?
Yeah, he's now president of country touring at Live Nation. There was a gap. That's when we started doing country. Right around, it was actually right around 9/11, so the timing was perfect because
Right. America, God bless
People
America.
were into it. Right. All that.
Now, how many awards have you won over there, Ed? Come on.
A couple. We've won a couple.
Come on. Give me a couple of the biggies.
Okay. We've probably won the ACM Nightclub of the Year. I think we've won 6 times. So
you're like the Tom Brady of country music.
oh my God, no, I'm not.
When did Rosemont come in now? And if you want to plug your partners or whatever, please,
yeah, 2016, in 2012, Let Us Entertain You was gracious enough to make me a partner in Bub City, that reopened Bub City down in River North. And we done some great music there over the years. A lot of guys had their first shows there, guys like Sturgill Simpson, and even Chris Stapelton played there, and Joe's. And then we started in 2013, we started the Windy City Smokeout, which has grown into something pretty special. And then in 2016, we were able to take over the closed Toby Keith space in Rosemont, and we made it into a Bub City and Joe's Live. Joe's Live is a really, really cool special music venue out in Rosemont.
What was Toby getting wrong out there that you got right?
They were doing a lot of business. I just think they were a little negligent on bill paying and stuff.
Well, they were paying bills, just not to the people that they were supposed to.
Yeah. And Toby, rest in peace. Toby was just a name attached to his getting a percentage to it. Toby was a great man. But the guys, if you ever want to Google the guys who owned the Toby Keith chain, it's a very interesting read.
All right, we'll
say the least.
Right here.
Honestly, it's worth a read.
Now, let's see. Chick Norris played Joe's Live, I don't know, 6-7 years ago with the late
right.
Great place. That was back then. And then Bongo Mike, you just played in Rosemont. What'd you think of the place?
Well, like I said, the venue was top shelf. I mean, the stage, the sound, the lights. We were the Pink Floyd cover band in the flesh backline. So all their stuff was set up. So they had, pieces of the wall, and they had some screen with visuals, and they actually brought in a company called, I think it was like Laser Graffiti or something like that. And they handled all this like laser effects. So it was real kind of an extravaganza. Like once I was done playing, I was watching in the flesh from an audience perspective. It was pretty unbelievable when they had all the lasers flying over your head and the visuals in the background. It's a whole stage show. It really is a well done production. From them as a band and through the venue. For the bands, it was a great experience. Yeah.
For a band to play there, how about those green rooms?
They treated us well. Yeah.
And of course the food. Ed, you still got good food out there?
We have great food. We have really good food, Bub City food, and catered in. We take good care of the band. So
there was we're
very appreciative.
It was great.
So Ed, everybody wants to be in a band. Everybody wants to book a band. Everybody wants to own a bar. Oh, it's so easy.
Oh God.
Because you really work.
I say there's better ways to make a living, and there's better ways to invest your money. My gosh. I really do.
Well, let's talk to the up and coming bands out there, Ed, that, hey, I want to play here. I want to play there. You got any advice for, let's just take your cover and tribute bands, and then you take your originals. What advice would you give somebody who's trying to work their way up?
Number one, put together a professional EPK.
What does that mean?
It's your electronic press kit.
Okay.
Have a good kit that has links to all your social media pages, your website. Get good photography done. Get some good video of yourself, of the band. Okay. That would be the first thing I would do.
Does having a good network help? You want people to fill your place. It certainly
helps. Yeah, it certainly helps. And, go in there and be smart and strategic about your booking. If you're going into a place Don't book a show 2-3 weeks later, right down the road. Be strategic about your booking. Promote your shows. Don't rely solely on the venue to promote for you. Show your worth to them.
Ed, when you say promote, it's more than just your friends on Facebook, right?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Yes.
What's working now?
It's more than your friends on Facebook. It's using all the social media. It's that's where the network is, hey, we're asking you, this gig is important to us. We need you to bring 2 friends and maybe they'll become fans. And then when you're at the venue, be professional. Things happen. Sometimes things don't plug in right. Sometimes it doesn't. Don't work through it. Work through it.
Don't be a premature.
It goes along just like anything in business. The way you treat the people around you is gonna go a long way for you.
Business is messy, especially the bar business. Okay,
right.
What are some of the, now we're going back to early 90s and today, Ed, what are some of the biggest technological advancements that you've seen out there? Like for me, I'm just throwing it out there and you can go. Walking around with the iPad and the sound check, that's insane.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah. That's a great
changer.
one.
Yeah.
Remember the big old, I don't know how many channel boards that.
Right. Well, and you don't need a monitor board.
None of that.
No.
And the stuff that you have now is smaller, sounds better, and
it's easier to, pre-COVID, when parts were all available, it's easier to fix things and ship something for a board in than the old days where you would ship a board. You'd have to ship the board out. You didn't know if you could get something to replace what you had. Yeah. It's same thing with lights going to, going to all LEDs.
No more of those plastic inserts.
No. Oh my God.
And the LEDs are less heat, you don't have the hot lamps and the hot bulbs. You could be right next to an LED and not even feel it really.
I mean, country, is it even country anymore or is it pop? I don't know the difference.
It doesn't matter if you or I know the difference, because an 18 or 21-year-old kid doesn't care. They don't look at whether something's country or pop. They're going to go see Zach Bryan tomorrow, and then in 2 weeks they're going to go see Olivia Rodrigo. They don't define themselves by genre.
Does Spotify or any of those services come to play in the biz now? Because back when we were doing it, all you had was XRT, and you're like, oh man, come on, Norm, please put the letters on the show.
Right. In Chicago, XRT and US 99 still carry a lot of weight with the right shows.
Yeah.
But in terms of music discovery and young bands, it's all off Spotify or it's all off Sirius XM.
That's wild on the Spotify, because what I'm seeing is that whatever Apple does is like 85% of what I'm in the podcasting business, so I see 85% on Apple, and then everything else is Spotify and Rumble and all this,
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
And well, it's different. It's if you're gonna watch something, okay, that's YouTube. If you're gonna listen to something, it's whoever is hosting your show, the Audible version of it, because if you have an Audible version, that's something that's longer, where you're going to fit in somebody's routine. Like, I'm going to listen to Bongo Mike on the Hog Pod podcast while I'm doing the laundry. Okay. And I'm always going to listen to it doing the laundry. Now, video, I'm going to fast forward and I'm just going to see the segment of the band of the song that I want to see. And it's got to be a minute, little clips. And then you got to have something to attach to it to hopefully you can get 5 minutes out of 1 minute. That's kind of what I'm seeing, because the attention span is a little bit shorter than back in the day. Ed, there is definitely a difference between people listening and then watching. You know, you've forgotten more about country music than I'll ever know, but you know, it's whatever gets. I don't know how the artists are getting paid from Spotify and all that. And I still think they're unhappy. I'm going to point back to, do you remember, Ed, the point in time of Napster?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that what effed everything up?
Well, it was definitely a disturbance. It definitely, yeah, shook it all up. You know, these guys are getting paid by Spotify. It's just a different way, and they've got and it's extremely top heavy. There's, you know, this many artists making all the money, and then there's this many artists who are making,
you know, I still buy albums or CDs. I'm probably one of the only people that still, you know, actually goes out and buys them. But, you know, nowadays it's all the touring money, right? The merchandise, and you know, FM radio is fragmented. Who's listening to radio? Because we can go to Spotify, we go to Apple. You know,
what's radio?
Yeah, it's just weird. It's different now than, you know, it was 15 years ago, and you know, I just think it's one of these things where, you know, that's how the artists make their money, is they go on tour and they sell merchandise, and they're getting, you know, pennies on, you know, Spotify hits. You know, again, the big artists are getting it, but the small artists aren't.
Well, it's probably dripping in versus rushing in back in the day. I don't know. We got to talk to a record label exec. So Ed, what's getting routed through now? Yerke brought up a name. I forget. Bongo Mike, do you remember that name he brought up that I should know? Noah.
Oh, Noah Kahan.
Yeah.
Noah Kahan is hot as it gets. He's so big. He's so big.
Ed, I got a 31-year-old kid, and I said, hey, my boy Yerke brought up this Noah guy. He goes, you dumbass, you don't know who that is.
Noah Kahan's a huge deal. And Noah Kahan, you know, that's the thing we didn't touch on, but and I'm sure those guys did. The music discovery is on TikTok, which is mind blowing. But that's where it is.
What was it? How did you get found back in the day, Ed? You just had to keep playing till somebody
saw you in the clubs. That's how you got found.
Yeah.
There's none of that anymore.
No.
Yeah, Instagram, TikTok. It's got to have those.
But isn't, like, you know, people throw shade on the Monkees for being put together as, you know, a boy band or a corporate production, but isn't it like a lot of bands out there sort of like that? There's a formula and you want to try to replicate it, Ed?
There is a formula. It's there's also, when you know, there's a lot of bands that are being signed off straight off of TikTok, and you just don't know if they have the chops to play live.
What is
and over time they will develop it, you hope, but we've seen some cases where they're, you know, they haven't been going around and playing everywhere like they should.
Yeah,
paying their dues.
Well, like Duff and Yerke, you were saying, and I know Ed's going to say the same thing: practice, and then practice some more,
right?
And then practice,
right?
Ed, if you go back 20 years and you're in your younger days like mine, what would you do differently in the bar business? What have you learned? Somebody wants to come in. Oh, it's going to be fun. Let's open up a bar. Besides, say, don't do it. What advice would you give from your earlier
for like opening a bar or a venue? Yeah. I would raise a lot more money than you think you need to raise, and be well financed. I think that is the key to operating successfully, because you can make more intelligent decisions if you're operating from a position of strength than operating trying to pay next month's rent or make payroll.
Yeah. Would you say budget for 20% extra in expenses and 20% less in revenue, or even more?
I think you need to do even more in 2024. Probably.
Wow. 40?
Probably. especially if you're within the city limits of Chicago.
Oh God. I won't go there, Ed, but
Yeah,
man, you made it happen on weed. That is some
yeah.
because what was over? You had the banana place, you had all those other circus. There's some
Circus, North Beach.
Yeah, North Beach.
Adagio.
Oh, sand volleyball. That was the rage.
Right?
Till you had to clean it.
Right. True.
Do you take any advantage on the system side of things for like inventory and all that stuff to, kind of make sure, you're getting what should be coming in?
Without a doubt. That's one thing that's gotten a lot better. Technology in the restaurant and bar business, it's so much better. It makes it easier to communicate with your staff. It's easier to keep compliant with the paperwork.
Yeah.
And yes, for your sales reports and knowing what you're selling, when you're selling it, and being able to drill down, it's a lot easier to identify that kind of stuff these days.
Especially for managing a kitchen, right? Tickets.
Oh my God, yes.
Remember the green tickets you'd
Yeah, I do. I do.
I mean, am I right in saying you're partnering with Bub City, but it's also a co-managed system where, order in, order out, how much time did it take,
Oh yeah.
Do we have anything left?
Yeah. Systems are key, and it's a lot easier to do it now than in the past.
What are the hot bands coming through over at your places, Ed? Let's pump them up.
Okay. We've got a kid named Sam Barber coming to Joe's on Weed Street in April, and he's as white hot as it gets. Very, very excited about him.
You can't call him country, but it's all pop. Everything you say is pop.
No, he is very much country. He's very much like a Zach Bryan type guy. That's one we're really excited about. At Joe's Live in Rosemont, I'm excited about a kid named Tyler Braden coming in on May 2nd. We're fired up for that. And then summer gets a little bit slower because you get into all the bands play outside, fair and festival circuit, and the outdoor amphitheaters, and when we go into our Windy City Smokeout. So very excited about that this year.
When is the Smokeout?
That's July 11 to 14 this year.
Okay.
Outside the United Center
parking lot.
Yeah.
Dang, Ed.
Come on down, Pete. Be my guest.
I haven't been to the United States in a long time, but if Ed invites, I will show up with
You're invited. You are definitely invited.
My little camera.
You're definitely.
Before I forget, Ed, do you remember Alex Green?
Of course I do.
Was he a running back at IU?
He was a running back at Indiana.
And then he got did free agency with Dallas. He's a good corporate friend of mine who got to be an attorney, and I know you were tight with the football team.
He was with McDonald's for a long time, and now I can't remember who he's with, but he's still doing great. I know that.
Oh, that family, Polly and all them. So you were okay. So you knew them. I was just always wondering about that, Ed, because Chicago,
one of the best guys I know. He is
number 24 in the program, number 1 in your heart, baby.
Yeah, really, really top notch guy. That's awesome.
Now, Bongo Mike and CJ and Todd, Ed was a multi-year letterman.
Nice.
As a manager.
That's where it all started, though.
Right. Hey, yes. That's true. That's true.
You had to make everything was, in its place and stocked and whatnot. Yeah. You got an award in what, 2017? You must have donated enough money to get the award.
Exactly. Yeah. They ran out of people to give the award to.
What'd you get?
I got an award called the Clevenger Award, which is given once a year to a former athlete or someone
Right.
around the football, someone around
Right.
the athletic program for their service to IU after they graduate. So it was one of the greatest honors I've ever gotten. So
Awesome.
Ed, that's why I brought it up.
thank you. That's very kind of you.
Now, last thing, and we'll let you go, Ed. In the day, remember when satellites were coming out?
Oh my God.
And
Yes.
and you had the Browns backers, the Packer backers, or whatever, and that would be a way to get ancillary income coming in by showing, the away team not in the market. But do you remember like praying that the satellite guy or the DJ would show up?
Oh my
Find the
God.
right signal on Sunday morning?
Really, really interesting you brought that up, because the other half of my bar life, or even more, just as half, was, Joe's on Weed Street was a sports bar just as much as it is. High Tops obviously was a sports bar across from Wrigley Field. And there were these big, giant satellite dishes, and you had to be able to know how to work them. And if you could work them, you could be the bar for a certain team. If you knew where to get, I knew where to get the Indiana game.
Yeah.
You knew where to get the Pittsburgh Steelers games. And it was, you had an inherent advantage. And so two things have happened over the years. Number one, DirecTV came out, and that leveled the field for everybody. That, now anybody who paid the crazy fees to DirecTV could be the sports bar to show the Sunday football games or the Saturday football games or whatever. So that was a leveling thing in the playing field. Then the second thing that has happened is they have this thing now called the Sunday Ticket. I don't know if you know, or the Red Zone. I'm sorry, Red Zone on Sundays, where it's phenomenal. It's the best thing ever. You cut from game to game to game to game. But what it's done is nobody wants to go out on Sunday anymore. It's killed Sundays. I don't want to go out on Sunday to watch the games, and I'm a big football fan because I can be in my house and watch every game.
Exactly.
From the convenience of my house. It was a great. It was the great equalizer.
All the action, all the scoring, all the action, all one right after another. It goes from one game to the next, and then as it gets closer to the end of the game, you get the four.
The quad box. The quad box. It's unbelievable.
Now, Ed, you didn't say this, I said it, but hey, to all you bar managers out there bitching, at least you don't have to run around with 32 remotes for the TVs, for the receivers, trying to decode. It's like you're the CIA trying to bring in the Packer game.
Oh my God, you're so right. You're so right.
DC5, or we would call each other. I would call you, you'd call me, I'd call Yahtzee. Whatever.
Oh my God, you're absolutely right. You're bringing back a lot of memories, and you're 100% right. And there were only like two guys who could fix and install satellites in within 100 miles, and they were both lunatics. They both been hit by lightning, and they were absolutely nuts, and you were at their mercy.
And they could charge whatever.
They could charge whatever, and there was only one guy who could fix the Zenith projector that everybody had. Right. Yes. Unbelievable.
Oh my goodness. Ed Worm, owner, manager, toilet cleaner, whatever it takes at the bar for all you people that want to run a bar. Oh, the bartender didn't show up. Here's your bartender, Ed Worm. Joe's live in Rosemont. Joe's on Weed Street. My friend, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Hey, Pete. It's great to talk to you, my old friend.
Oh, don't worry. We'll come down there. I'm going to check out the United Center over there.
Okay. Come see me before that. Give me a heads up. All right, buddy.
Nice to meet you, Ed. pleasure.
Cheers.
Ed, you can
Thanks,
check out
Papa Mike.
anytime, and
Thanks, Costa Ricans. Thanks.
we're gonna they're gonna play us a song to close this out, Ed. But
Okay, let's do it.
Come
Let's
on,
do
baby.
it.
Pressure's on. You know we're talking about choking?
Yeah, we got one.
Wait, before you do that, can you give me a swing?
Yeah. All right.
All right, two,
1, 2,
three.
3.
Schwing.
All right, continue. This is
All
what
right.
we do, Ed.
All right, here's a song that nobody knows here in the States. It's a song by a band called The Move. All right, ready?
The
1,
Move.
2, 3, 4. See the people all in line, what's making them look at me? Can't imagine that their minds are thinking the same as me. I can hear the grass grow. I can hear the grass grow. I see rainbows in the evening. My head's attracted to a magnetic wave of sound, with the streams of colored circles making their way around. I can hear the grass grow. I can hear the grass grow. I see rainbows in the evening. I can hear the grass grow. I can hear the grass grow. I see rainbows in the evening.
Mike Orfanos, DJ, Costa Rica, and that warm of Joe's 5 and Joe's on Weed Street. Have a great night, all. Ed, talk to you later. I'll tell Alex Green you said hello.
Please
Hi,
do.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
You got it.